Happy November, everyone. It's time to get ready for this powerful month we have ahead of us. And these are the themes we're looking at: connecting to our own inner power, intuition, and resilience. And of course, using the magical energy this month to manifest big things and come full circle in our healing journey. November is innately a magical month. We are working with sacred numerology between 11:11 and 11:22. We are working with master numbers that allow us to vibrate higher, to raise our frequency, to connect with our higher guidance and higher selves, and to manifest more quickly. Most importantly, when we see 11:11 and 11:22, these are numbers that represent spiritual awakening. So when we see these numbers out in the world, on our phone, on a license plate frame, they help remind us that we are here, awakened beings in the universe on a spiritual journey. If you need more information on this, if you want to know what it means when you see these numbers, you can watch my video called What It Means When You See 11:11. I filmed this in Sedona in an energy vortex, and so you'll be able to feel the energy vibrating from this video, but also you'll get more clarity with what it means when you see these numbers, and then of course, how to use them to manifest and attract big things for yourself. November is also a month of a lot of synchronicity. We can start with the different numbers that we see, and when we see a number, it's very important to assign a meaning to it. So when I see 11:11, it reminds me that I'm here as a spiritual being, here to do some great work to raise the consciousness on this planet. When you see different numbers that speak to you, for example, I see 123 a lot. That to me is communication directly from my higher self. Remember the tip with this: whatever you see, you assign a meaning to it and you go with it, and then you trust the answer that you get. Assign things a yes, assign it a no, see what your gut tells you. The more you create this sort of system and framework, the more answers you'll get, and the easier it will be to interpret all the numbers and signs that you'll be seeing this month. Manifesting is a big part of November, and so you don't necessarily have to wait till 11:11 to start any manifestation practice that you may have. I like to manifest on 11:11. It's such a high vibrational day. We've got higher dimensional energy entering the planet. This is going to support anything that comes from love. So go really big here with your manifestations. It's okay to want to manifest more money. Money's more energy. Use it to manifest anything that's going to make your experience here much better for you, but also what's going to give you the most meaning and joy in life. Optimal health is another thing that you can manifest on this day, and use any sort of technique that you like. I like to do a list burning activity where I list the positive intentions I want to call into my life and embody, and then I use the alchemical element of fire. I go outside, I safely burn the list and release it, and then I let go of it, and then honestly, I trust the universe and I flow and I see what comes my way. We can also use the portal energy on 11:11 to put out peace into the world. Whatever intentions we have for the collective, for conflict resolution, for deep inner peace, and for health and justice, we can amplify this through intention setting on behalf of everyone. And then when we actually get to 11:22, I would use that day. I wouldn't plan ahead. I would wake up that morning and see how your life has shifted from November 1st until 11:22. And then I would set new intentions for the rest of the year on that day. Things are going to be vibrating very high. The energy is just different. There's different waves. There's different frequencies that are going to be carrying that day based on a lot of the higher dimensional portal energy that enters the planet on 11:11. But then even more on that, it's going to keep riding. That's why November is so magical, because we have all this higher dimensional support that's here to raise the consciousness of the entire planet. And when we see how energy works, we can bring in all that love for ourselves and into the world as well. And then we can also emit that through our energy fields. Now, one of the most important themes in November is our inner magic. Remembering it, claiming it, and using it. And one of the most powerful ways that we do that is through our intuition. So a sub-theme of that is intuition. This is the month that you can cultivate that. And you're going to do this by trusting yourself and really allowing yourself to make those big decisions in your life and watch how they play out. If you feel lost or separate from your intuition, this is the month to reclaim it and reconnect to it. And intuition can be a funny thing. You know, sometimes it is that gut feeling that tells you when to do something, when to communicate to someone, when to pull your energy back. Sometimes it's a little blurry, but you can use the energy in November with all those synchronicities to sort of refine a roadmap of what yes means to you in your gut, to what no means, to listen to your body. The way we listen to our body is by feeling our emotions. It's a process that might not be easy, but you know what? It's something that we can all cultivate, and we can take the time to do this by listening to our inner child, by all that shadow work that we are doing the last few months of this year. All these things help us feel, which is how we connect to our intuition and how we really embody it. Always remember that intuition is one of our superpowers here on earth. If we don't claim it, if we don't use it, we invite someone else in to come in, to take the driver's seat of our lives and to use it for us and to make decisions for us, and also to convince us that they know what's better for us. And that's the absolute opposite of sovereignty and why we're here. We are here to feel, to make those decisions, to trust our intuition, and to trust the universe. We can do all these things at once, and that's what we're always learning to do through the different challenges that we're faced in life. So remember, if you feel disconnected from yourself or from the universe, this is the month where the energy will support you to reclaim your intuition, to reclaim any parts of your power you feel you may have lost. See, we can always reclaim it. We can always call our power. We can always call our parts back. It just happens with getting up in the morning and trying, with every decision that we make, with every gut feeling that we trust. This is how we reclaim it. And this is the month to really embody intuition, trusting your feelings, and then letting your life play out. And remember to practice non-judgment on this path. If you feel like you let someone in to come in and make those big decisions for you or make you feel disconnected from your intuition, well, guess what? You're still here. No one's ever going to do that again. You get to reclaim it through using your voice and through every action you take for yourself. We are here to learn. It's not always fun. Sometimes the lessons aren't as soft as maybe we wish they could be, but we're doing the work. That's the whole point of this, right? We're here, we're learning. We know that the earth school is hard, but we know that in the end, we're going to master this. We're all going to be okay. During these high energetic times, it's really important to face life through the paradigm of love and not fear. When we have major astrological events, gateways, or portals, yes, the powers that were will try to come in and scare us. Let's take that fly as in synchronicity. They'll try to come in and there will be conflicts on the world stage and we'll all feel so hopeless and powerless. But we also need to remember that during these times, the earth is changing and the earth is healing. And so us conscious, aware beings, we get to use those energetic gateways, right? Those portals, that higher dimensional energy to broadcast love and inner peace. Because remember, on the world stage, when we see conflict, we are also resolving the conflict within all of us. So when we heal ourselves, when we resolve those inner conflicts, when we get in there and we create that peace within ourselves, when we dig up that shadow and we turn that darkness into light, that does show up in the world too. That's how we shift paradigms from within, right? The only way out is through. Think of no mud, no lotus. Think of whatever you need to think of. Darkness turns to light eventually. So the more dedicated we are to our inner work, to our power as creator beings, we can choose to not align with those darker timelines, with those doomed timelines. That love timeline exists, and we align with it through our inner work process, through deeply healing ourselves, to not let fear shift the paradigm we are in. We can all work collectively towards love and peace. So when we see injustice in the world, let's work through the injustice within ourselves. This doesn't mean that we're sitting back and we're not doing anything, that we're not using our voice to try and create change in the world. This is a reminder that we have to consistently do the inner work and not, put it aside because we're afraid from what we're seeing outside of us. We want to continue to build, right? We want to build a new earth, a new world. We want ascension. We do it through the emotional body, through the energetic body, and from healing ourselves within. So remember, when conscious beings use these gateways and portals to align with those higher dimensional timelines, there may be forces in the matrix that try to combat that. But the way we win is through our intention, our awareness, and our power, and where we give that to and what we align with. Now, one of the other major themes in November is resilience. So the last couple months, I've sort of been preparing you for what's to come in November. And what I mean by that is we've mentioned how, hey, if we work through all those retrogrades in September, the eclipse season in October, we are going to shift and shake up so much. So then towards the end of November, a newfound clarity is going to emerge. I got this download back in August, and this is exactly what we've been seeing. The last few months have been insane. I'm going to just use that word. for everybody. We've all gone through a lot of personal growth. A lot of things have come up to the surface to be processed. A lot of fear is being transmuted. We can see this play out now on the world stage. So what you want to do to prepare for the rest of the month is really take a moment to honor how resilient you are. How far have you come? Not just in the last couple months. How resilient have you been through your entire life? Can you give yourself that moment and just be in awe of all those things you've overcome? This is where the healing starts. Can we just pause and celebrate how far we've come and how resilient we are? And now, can we take this one step further and really dig in and call on that resilience to help us, to fortify us and strengthen us as we get to the end of November? Because the end of November, we enter Sagittarius season. And as long as I'm making videos or putting out any content, I'm always going to remind you guys that I'm a double Sag, and I love that. So here it is. There's that moment where we talk about this. But what are we talking about now? We are talking about expansion that happens during Sagittarius season. When we enter Sag season and we've got Jupiter expanding us, expansion as a spiritual concept is something that many conscious beings are working through, right? We want to expand the consciousness, the soul. We want as much growth as possible for several different reasons. Some of us just don't want to come back here. Hey, some of us want to get as much as we need to on this soul's journey. So the energy towards the end of November is going to expand us. And we're going to get to that expansion through several different ways. First of all, the energy of Scorpio season is already here. And when we do the shadow work, when Scorpio season and all the eclipses that we just experienced come forward and they bring all those heavy emotions forward, we transmute those things into love, right? Into those lighter emotions, which of course, we're not assigning any value to light or dark emotions. But what I'm saying is we kind of change the density that's in our energy field and energy body. And so we're ready for the next layer of expansion. So the energy of Scorpio is going to support that. It's going to dig up what we need to look at in order to expand as we enter Sagittarius season. Now, the road to expansion might not feel so good, but we create resilience by working through our discomfort. And that's what the energy in November is going to support us in doing. Whatever is coming up for you now as you watch this video and you start to think about the different things that you've been working through, whatever is paining you, whatever is still really difficult to transmute, trust and know that you will be supported by all the beautiful, higher, and magical energy this month. November is magical because yes, we've got, these big gateways. We've got the 1111 energy that supports so much abundance. But what about that abundance of peace that we can all call in, right? What about the abundance of good health and the abundance of healing? That's really what the energy is going to help you support. So all those different things that might be paining your heart right now, you're going to see a shift because you're going to be supported by all the different energies that are bringing these things forward, but then allowing you to practice resilience, work through discomfort, actually see how resilient you are and pull some power and motivation from those things. And you're going to see a lot of different things clear up in the form of realization towards the end of November. So what I spoke about earlier with how in the last few updates I talked about November, things are going to become more clear. Yeah. By the end of November, when Jupiter starts to expand us, you will get a better sense of certain decisions that you want to make, what your true feelings are about something, where your heart is leading you. Maybe it's a career shift. Maybe it's a new creative pursuit or project. Maybe you're just opening your heart up to more peace and love that you're creating. Maybe you're going to be calling in more community. Whatever you want to create, it will be supported, but know that you're going to get a little bit more clear by the end of the month. Think of like a fog finally starting to lift because of all the efforts that you've put in towards yourself and all the resilience you've shown. So continue to dig deep and continue to look to that resilience. It's going to get you even further than you've ever expected. And if you're watching this thinking, hey, I don't know if I have been resilient, you have been. You're here right now in the third dimension at one of the most energetically intense and chaotic times. You're pretty resilient, but also know if you want more, if you want this to show up in other forms of your life, you will be supported in this by all this higher dimensional energy that's here, but also by really taking a look at yourself and how strong you are. You can do this through inner child work, of course, too. You can build up inner child to build up more of that resilience in yourself. And as you guys usually know, this is where I do a shout out to my inner child video. If you have not seen it before, if you have not worked through some of these themes with inner child, this is another month that's going to support even deeper inner healing. So to recap, we've got some really beautiful dynamic energy we're working through this month. Leading up to 11/11, you might see some of this energy intensify. Use that day to work with the powerful energy that's going to be coming in. You can go outside, honestly, just sit in the sun, get some light codes. I like to spend the day in nature. I usually find some patch of redwood somewhere so that I could commune with the trees and get some of their wisdom and knowledge as well. Whatever you choose, that's your day. Continue to build on your intentions and what you're putting out into the world. Do some sort of practice on 11/22 where you kind of see how far you've come from those first 22 days of the month. Maybe you need to refine some of those intentions based on what you learned about yourself. And then you could set some new ones, or you could just trust the process and continue to see whatever you set on 11/11 continue to manifest for you. Take the time to connect and embody more of that inner power through your intuition, that magical internal GPS we've all been gifted with, and that we're here to really use and honestly create the life that we've always wanted to create here. You can also use those powerful gateways to do a peace meditation on behalf of the entire planet, on behalf of anything that will support more love here on this earth. And of course, I've been called to share this message with you, which is that your path is within, and all you have to do is listen. I'm wishing you all a powerful, magical, and of course, transformative November.